Next is the still pictures, recordings, and radio. Okay, if you can still remember the cone, this is already on the upper part of the cone of experience. So these are actually visual and auditory devices. So these can be used by an individual or a group. Still pictures, no videos at all, ha. Picture lang talaga siya. And then recordings, basically, it only involves the auditory sense of the learner, and also the radio, still, the sense of hearing is involved. Next is, oh my god, visual symbols. Sorry for that. Next is the visual symbols. It is very highly abstract representation. So it involves charts, graphs, maps, and diagrams. And lastly are the verbal symbols. These do not contain visual clues at all. You know, written words. These are the written words. It could be a word for a concrete object like, you know, table. Table, T-A-B-L-E. That is a verbal symbol. An idea. That is an idea. Freedom. Love. Okay, a scientific principle, Newton's law of motion, a formula, quadratic formula in mathematics. So this involves letters, numbers, words. Okay, no picture at all. So if you can see, verbal symbols is already on the top of the cone of experience. This is the most abstract of all the learning activity that we can give to our learners. So let's say we are the student. What would we prefer to have the learning activity to have? Is it you go out of your school community, you immerse in the real community, or you just stay in your classroom, you read books? So we always prefer to do the first option, right? We will always choose to be involved in an actual learning experience. So we learn by doing. Okay, so what are the implications of the cone of experience? Why is it important in the teaching learning process? So implication number one, okay, we do not only use one medium of communication in isolation. Rather, we use many instructional materials to help the learner conceptualize his or her experience. Okay, we do not only use lecture as our teaching learning activity, because that's very boring. It's always, the students are always passive, right? So we make use of all the things listed in the cone of experience. So we make sure that we use different types of learning experiences to avoid boredom on the part of the students, to make them engage more in our discussions. Okay, implication number two, we avoid teaching directly at the symbolic level of thought, adequate foundation of the concrete. So if we can, it is advisable for us to really start on the concrete at the bottom part of the Dale's cone of experience before proceeding to the most abstract part on the symbolic level. Now, implication number three, when teaching, we don't get stuck in the concrete. Let us strive to bring our students to the symbolic or abstract level to develop their higher order thinking skills. Okay? Hindi din pwede, di ba, sabi ko nga kanina, yung implication number one, we make use of different teaching learning activities from the concrete to the abstract. But on the implication number three, we do not only stay on the concrete part. It is not applicable all the time that we send them out. So, ba't pa tayo gumawa ng classroom kung sa labas din naman pala natin sila dadalhin palagi, di ba? So, hindi din naman pwedeng immersion na lang palagi, practicum na lang palagi. You also need to use other means of delivering the lessons. Okay, why is abstract learning experiences important? Because we have books through reading, through answering journals, reading journals, answering different activities, written activities, we will try to see if they have really understood as well the concepts. If yung parang kahit sa peak ng boredom, kumbaga, ng lesson, nakakasagot pa rin ba sila? That's why that way we can assure that they have really have understood the lesson, na-develop na yung higher order thinking skills ng mga bata. Okay, that's the end of our presentation for the cone of experience. For the other video, we will learn about the partner of this cone of experience, or the 3-tiered model learning by Jerome Bruner. Thank you so much, teacher. See you on the next video.